In a galaxy plagued by eternal war, where hope itself is a rare and precious thing, few names shine brighter than that of Sanguinius, Primarch of the Blood Angels, angel, warrior, philosopher, prophet, and martyr. 10,000 years after his death, his memory remains one of the very few lights left for humanity. But behind all of the legends is the story that is far more tragic, far more human, and far more complex than myth alone can tell. This is the Chronicle of the Angel, his birth, his rise, his burdens, his destiny, and his death. This is the life of Sanguinius. Before the Imperium, before the Great Crusade, before the stars bowed to the Emperor's will, there was terror. Broken, war-scarred, and half-dead, the Emperor, determined to save humanity from extinction, created 20 superhuman progeny, the Primarchs. Each was engineered with abilities that defy modern understanding. Genetic brilliance, psychic perfection, unmatched strength, and personalities designed for conquest. But the project did not go unnoticed. The ruinous powers, ancient entities of chaos, feared the Emperor's vision. And so, in a single violent moment, the warp tore open the Primarch's incubation chambers. One by one, the infant Primarchs vanished into the Immaterium. Some landed on Paradise, some on Hellscapes, some among primitive tribes. And one, perhaps the most symbolically fitting of all, fell upon a world poisoned and dying. His name was Sanguinius, and his destiny began on Baal Secundus. Baal Secundus had once been a thriving colony, but its people, left isolated through millennia, turned to atomic warfare to resolve their disputes. The result was a world nearly sterilized of life. Radiation storms scourged the land. Mutants, twisted descendants of human survivors, fought savage territorial wars. Resources were so scarce that tribes waged decades-long battles for a few litres of clean water. It was into this wasteland that Sanguinius arrived. He was discovered by the Tribes of the Blood, a group that retained some fragment of ancient human culture, though half their number bore mutations. To them, mutation was not a sign of damnation, it was simply survival. And yet, when they saw a child with angelic wings, beautiful, pristine, and utterly unlike any mutation they had seen, they believed a god had touched their world. Sanguinius grew with supernatural speed, as all Primarchs do. Within a year he walked, within 2 he spoke every dialect of Baal, within 3 he could lift boulders larger than himself. But what made him truly remarkable was neither strength nor intellect, it was his empathy. Sanguinius listened to the people, he tended to the sick, he helped carry water. He negotiated truces with rival tribes. And when mutants threatened innocents, he defended them with wrath as fierce as Baal-storms. Over time, the tribes came to believe that the winged boy was not merely a survivor, but their saviour. This childhood forged him with 2 defining traits: unshakable compassion and the willingness to suffer to protect others. Both would guide and haunt him for the rest of his life. When the Great Crusade reached Baal's system, the Emperor sensed what lay below. A psychic beacon, radiant, pure, and unmistakably Primarch. Unlike many Primarchs, Sanguinius felt the Emperor's presence instantly. He knew, without a word, that this was his father. As he approached the Emperor, he bowed, wings folded, and offered not just loyalty, but love. In that moment, the Emperor realized something rare. This son required no correction, no re-education, and no discipline. Sanguinius was exactly what he had been designed to be. A symbol of inspiration, the angel had come home. Long before Sanguinius took command, the 9th Legion had a dark reputation. They were the Emperor's problem children, used for attrition assaults, urban bloodshed, and missions too brutal for other legions. Ravaged by the flaw, their warriors fell into uncontrollable killing rages. Some Imperial commanders refused to fight alongside them. But when Sanguinius met them, something miraculous occurred. The legion that had been feared and shamed suddenly found itself led by a being of absolute grace, a leader who believed in them, a father who saw worth where others saw monstrosities. Under Sanguinius, the Ninth Legion transformed into the Blood Angels, warriors known for honor, precision, and artistic brutality. Sanguinius taught them restraint, self-reflection, and pride. In return, he adored them with devotion unmatched in any other legion. The angel redeemed his sons. Perhaps they also redeemed him. During the Great Crusade, Sanguinius and the Blood Angels became living legends. They liberated systems enslaved for centuries. They pacified worlds with diplomacy rather than fire, and they inspired entire populations to embrace imperial unity. Even among Primarchs, Sanguinius occupied a special place. To Guilliman, he respected him as the perfect general. Leman Russ admired his courage and straightforward honor. Ferrus Manus saw in him strength tempered by mercy. Vulcan considered him a kindred spirit of compassion, and Horus called him brother in the deepest sense. And yet, Sanguinius also carried a hidden burden. The angel had visions, brief, horrifying flashes of a violent future. Visions of death, of betrayal, visions of his own fall. While other Primarchs dismissed such things, Sanguinius knew they were a prophecy, and he bore the knowledge in silence. As glorious as the Blood Angels were, darkness lurked within their genes, the red thirst, an insatiable craving for blood and carnage, a weakness inherited from Sanguinius himself. He fought the curse with iron discipline and unmatched willpower. But each time he gave in, each time battle frenzy overtook him, he was reminded that he too carried the flaw. This knowledge tormented him. To lead by example, he had to hide his suffering. To protect his sons, he had to confront darkness alone. This constant psychological warfare hardened him, not into cruelty, but into deeper compassion. He would not allow his sons to be defined by their curse. Of all the Primarchs, Sanguinius trusted Horus most. They shared victories, counsel, and brotherly affection. Many believed if the Emperor ever abdicated, only two Primarchs were fit to lead the Imperium, Horus and Sanguinius. This mutual respect made Horus's fall to chaos all the more devastating. Sanguinius felt the War Master's corruption like a blade through his spirit. He could not fathom how his brightest brother had become the galaxy's greatest threat. But grief quickly became resolve. The angel prepared himself for the greatest battle of his life. When the traitor legions besieged the imperial palace, Sanguinius and the Blood Angels became the shield of humanity. They manned the walls, they held the sky, they fought at every breach, and at the Eternity Gate, where thousands of loyalists were trapped outside by a chaos surge, Sanguinius made a choice. He opened the gate, alone, against orders, against logic, against survival. He held the line by himself, slaughtered daemon princes, traitor champions, and warp-spawned horrors. His stand saved countless lives. It was one of the greatest acts of heroism in Imperial history, and only a foreshadowing of what awaited him. When the Emperor and Sanguinius teleported aboard Horus's flagship, the Aeon of Strife, and chaos tore them apart, Sanguinius reached the War Master first. What passed between them is lost to time. Some say Sanguinius pleaded with Horus to return to sanity. Others say Horus tried to corrupt him with promises of power. But the truth most agree on is this. Sanguinius refused to kneel, refused to yield, refused to give Horus the satisfaction of seeing his spirit break. The battle that followed was brief, but titanic. Sanguinius fought with unmatched fury, a final, desperate effort to break fate. And though he died, he achieved something miraculous. He wounded Horus, a feat no other being had accomplished. A wound that weakened the War Master enough for the Emperor to end him. Sanguinius traded his life for humanity's survival. That day, the Imperium did not merely lose a general, it lost its greatest symbol of hope. The Blood Angels were forever scarred, not only emotionally but psychically. From the trauma of their Primarch's death emerged the Black Rage, a spiritual echo that forced some Blood Angels to relive Sanguinius' final moments, to feel his fear, his pain, his impossible courage. In death, Sanguinius became more than a Primarch. He became a prophet, a martyr, and a guiding star in a doomed age. His sons still fight in his name. His memory holds their legion together. His example continues to inspire billions. And in the darkest corner of the galaxy, where the Imperium struggles to survive, his sacrifice is the reminder that even in a universe built on despair, one angel stood against the night. Sanguinius is gone. His wings no longer beat across the stars, but his legacy is immortal. For 10,000 years, his sons have whispered the same vow, for the angel. And as long as that vow is spoken, Sanguinius lives on. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this dive into Sanguinius, then please let me know what other Primarchs you'd like me to do in the future, or if you want more context on Sanguinius, I'd be happy to do so. Down in the description you'll find a link to my other channel, so if you enjoy Warhammer, which I can assume you do, then you'll like it over there, because we build, paint, and we'll soon be battling Warhammer armies against each other. We have Age of Sigmar, we've started on Kill Team and Warcry, so if any of that interests you, then please have a look over there. Anyway, that'll be it from me today. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. And as always, bye for now, guys.